these pictures go back a long way in terms of China's broader development and the infrastructure investment story, right? What did you see this time around?
Yeah, I mean, so the ghost city narrative really was this worry that China's debt-fueled growth could lead to these property bubbles. And so we visited three of the most famous ghost cities sort of 10 years on and found that for the most part, they really are filling up and that, they probably weren't meant to really fill up overnight. For example, in China's central Zhengzhou, we really, we saw delivery people weaving in and out of crowds. In Tianjin's Binghai area, this is a place where now 2 million people live. And in Kambashi, in Inner Mongolia's Ordos, we also saw a lot of families come in for the new schools that were being set up. So slowly, but surely these ghost cities are filling up, although there unfortunately is no national data on how, on the whole, these places have evolved over the years.
I would imagine it's really tough to go out in the middle of nowhere and build the buildings, hoping to create this brand new city, with nothing there. I mean, no transportation from another big city, no businesses. What's the model for doing this?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, these places really are created out of nothing. And I mean, to be clear, some of these aren't, or most of them aren't cities. They're sort of new districts. So, additions to cities. But yeah, created essentially out of farmland in a lot of cases. There was really no construction there. And so the model has very much been throwing a lot of money into these new builds, including, public spaces, as well as government buildings. And, at first they get sort of this push towards vitality by inviting a lot of state-owned enterprises in. And then, of course, they try to attract private capital by giving some subsidies and encouraging policies. So, the hope, so that's very much been the model.
The demographic story is changing, right? And we know with hukou reform, that side of things is changing too. So are they still building out these, big developments in the hope that urbanization will come?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, in 1978, 18% of China's population lived in cities, and last year that number went up to 64. So, there has been an incredible pace of urbanization, and it's continuing, although of course slowing. For some of these places that we went to, for example, in Zhengzhou, there's now another sort of new district. They're building out, with apartment blocks, 4-star hotels, or 5-star hotels even, and in these sort of luxury condos. And in Kambashi also, across the river, there's also this huge new build. So, the model is continuing, and China is certainly hoping for more people to move into these urban areas.